we go. All right, do you see the record button?
Now I do.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. We're excited tonight to be talking about emotions and essential oils. And today is election day, and so there is a lot of stress and a lot of energy in the air. And so I thought this is a great topic to be able to address our emotions. And to begin, I just want to say how grateful I am that we have the opportunity to be able to vote, and that we can let our voice be heard, and that we can live in a country that we have the freedoms and the opportunities that we do. And I'm so grateful for that. And I know that for me personally, that whoever becomes our next president, that I will honor and respect that office, and I will support them in that office. And I think that's a something that we should all strive for. And I know that for me too, it's, you know, it starts with me, and it starts in my home, and then it goes into our community, and that we really can be a light to the world, and that we can find opportunities to serve and to share and to be good neighbors and to be good people. And I think that's really what's going to change the nation, is as all of us working together to do good and to make our communities a good place. And I love that in doTERRA we have an amazing culture and an amazing community where we do lock arms and support each other regardless of what we believe in, and you know, the different aspects of our life that are different, but we're very much united in this. So anyways, I just wanted to start with that thought. So we're going to talk tonight about essential oils and emotions. I'm going to jump to my first picture here. Maybe. Okay, there we go. I changed my family picture. So this is a picture of my family. And this is why we got started with the essential oils about 5.5 years ago. And this is my family, and I brought this picture out just to show the different personalities, and that we all do have. We come with different things about us. I have some kids who are naturally very happy, and I've got one that's kind of naturally grumpy. And so the essential oils have come in really handy as I've been a mom and with my kids, and for the different personalities that they have. When we first got started with doTERRA, my first thing is that I love the oils for my go-to to help my kids. So like with cuts and burns and sore muscles. And I forgot to mute everybody. So if you're not muted, if you wouldn't mind muting yourselves really quick, sorry. So when we first got started, I was really excited about having these awesome tools at my fingertips to help my kids. And, you know, which was awesome, and I loved it. But for me personally, in my family, I've had a lot of depression and anxiety, and I watched my mom and my grandma get on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications and go through some kind of rough stuff that I remember as a kid. And at this point in my life, before I met doTERRA, I was starting to have some of those things. I was starting to have panic attacks. Every time I went to pick up my kids from school, I would have these anxiety things. And I just remember thinking, okay, you know, the next step is to go to the doctor and get on a pharmaceutical and try to figure this out. And so when we got introduced to the oils, I thought, okay, if these can help me, then I'm in. And so I started using the oils, and I can say that for me personally, they have helped me so much. I could honestly say that in the 5 years since we started using the oils, I have not had any really major panic attacks. It's like I will kind of start to feel it coming on, but I use the oils, and it's amazing how quickly it helps to balance my physiology so that I can move forward with it. So anyways, very, very powerful what we can do with our emotions and stress and anxiety. So that's my why. That's with my kids. And then really quickly, what are essential oils? So essential oils are aromatic plant compounds that come from the roots, the trees, the flowers, blossoms, bark, all the different parts of the tree. And they're beautiful, and they're complex. And because of that complexity, they work with the complexity of our body. You know, my husband Eric, he always says, we are carbon-based life forms, and plants are carbon-based life forms. And so when you put the two together, they work well together without the negative side effects that we often get in pharmaceuticals. So there's 3 different ways that we can use the essential oils: aromatic, internal, and topical. And I'm going to run through these quickly and talk about them specific for emotions. So aromatically, this is the most powerful way to use the oils when we want to address our mood and emotions. And the reason for that, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but breathing them in is the quickest way to be able to affect that chain reaction that's going on in the brain. So aromatically, we're going to talk about some oils later to help address that. And then internally, we can use the oils internally for a lot of different health concerns and issues. They're safe and natural. I would totally only use the doTERRA essential oils because of the purity and the potency of the essential oils that we have. But internal is a powerful way. And I love the citrus oils. They're natural mood lifters. And so putting lemon in water or grapefruit or lime or bergamot, any of those beautiful citrus oils are a great way to internalize maybe some of that uplift that the citrus oils bring. And then topically, when we talk about using the oils emotionally, topically we want to use them on places where our skin is kind of thin. So like I love to put the oils on like my wrists or on the back of my neck or the front of my neck on the chest. And what's amazing is the back of the neck, there's two major arteries that go up and out of the brain. And so if we can put the oils back there, then they're going to go into the brain and be able to, again, help support the body in a powerful way emotionally. So we'll jump to this next part. Okay, so when we talk about emotions and essential oils, the lifelong vitality is key. When I first started using the oils, and really, I feel like the oils helped me a lot with a lot of my emotional things that I had going on, but the lifelong vitality was a keystone to that. And I know that when I'm getting good nutrition in my body, and particularly with the lifelong vitality, that my body is able to function the way that it was meant to, and that I have a higher tolerance maybe for stress and maybe sleep and all of those different things. So the lifelong vitality is going to be such a key part of emotional health. So we have the alpha CRS. This is the cellular vitality complex, and this is going to help with inflammation. It's going to help with energy, and it's natural energy. There's no caffeine in these. And so it naturally gives energy to the mitochondria of the cell, which is what we want. We want a natural energy source getting into our cells. And then we have the microplex MVP. This is your food nutrient. It's food-based, so that when we take it, the body's going to be able to recognize it and be able to utilize it in a powerful way instead of having it go straight in and out. And then the Z omega, this is your healthy fats plus essential oils. And the healthy fats are going to be so important. We talked about brain health and heart health, but the brain, it's important that we get that nourishment and that food, so to speak, to the brain, because that's where we process our emotions and memories and all of those different things. And then here, I'm just going to kind of do a disclaimer really quick, especially as we're talking about emotions. There's a lot of things that play into our emotions, and I would challenge all of us that we do get good nutrition, that we eat well, that we make good food choices, to get exercise, go get fresh air, go for a walk, go to the yoga class, go to the gym, do those things that will help your body to move and have energy. Those are some simple things that we can do that will definitely improve mood. Also, drink water, drink a lot of water to help cleanse and purify the body. Avoid a lot of sugars and processed sugars and white foods. And then also, as always, seek medical help if your emotions get out of control and you feel like you are not on top of those, because there is a time and a place for mental health and for counseling and all those things that are out there. So know that these are some additional tools to help support you, but that there's also additional help as well if you need that. Alrighty, so jumping into this. Okay, essential oils for the olfactory system. So this is a picture that I found. I'm going to actually read from a couple of different sources that I loved how they worded this. So this first one comes from the Essential Oils for Mood Management tear sheet that I love from Share Oils. And they say that as we inhale aromatic compounds from essential oils, they travel to the olfactory bulb, our emotional brain, and these odor stimuli trigger a series of brain chemicals. For example, lavender triggers serotonin, which has a relaxing effect on the mind and body. And then the olfactory bulb is the only place in the body where the central nervous system is directly exposed to the environment. Our brain is designed to use aroma to soothe and protect itself. How cool is that? The power of aroma. And then I'm going to read another part. This comes from the Essential Life book, and I love what they say here too. It says, smell can be beneficial in healing efforts as well. Scents are experienced long before words, whether for relieving stress, stabilizing mood, improving sleep, eliminating pain, relieving nausea, or improving memory and energy levels. Scents can actually change nervous system biochemistry. Very, very cool. And then they say, what if we could use this knowledge to choose the mood we want to feel and then actually act on it without harmful substances or recreational drugs? What if we could think of a desired mood and then choose to use an essential oil that is capable of creating it. With essential oils, we have the ability to direct our emotional traffic. I love that. It feels like emotional traffic sometimes, when we have a lot going on in our lives. And then one more thing I'm going to read really quick, and then we're going to talk about 10 essential oils specifically. So it says, in conclusion, aromatherapy offers many practical healing advantages, but perhaps one of the most fascinating is the relationship it has with emotional well-being. Inhalation of essential oils with the resulting aromatic exposure is the most effective method of impacting the brain for emotional wellness. Some studies demonstrate that essential oils have the highest biofrequency of any consumable natural substance. Essential oils offer a fresh, effective support tool to aid in the emotional healing process and to shift out of old habits and ineffective coping patterns. Aromatherapy allows the individual to harness the olfactory power of plants for healing or simply to enhance a state of well-being using scents to create a powerful influence over how one thinks, feels, and behaves. How cool is that we have access to the essential oils? I was listening to a speaker probably about a month or so ago, and he talked about essential oils 101. That's like using the oils for our, earaches and pains and cuts and all that kind of stuff. But the 2.0 is the emotions. And how cool is it that when we breathe those in, that we can actually change and manipulate what is going on emotionally. I've seen this personally several times. I've had experiences where I've shared something like wild orange with somebody who has been really closed off. I'll meet them and they've got their arms crossed, they've got a kind of a grumpy face, but as soon as I put that wild orange in their hands and they start to breathe it, it's amazing how quickly they soften and how quickly they smile and they open up. I've seen it over and over, even in a class when we share that peppermint wild orange. It's amazing to watch people open up and to see how quickly the oils affect them, whether they maybe know it or not. Okay, so next we're going to talk about 10 essential oils to support our emotions. I kind of like these little mask guys because emotions are like that, right? We have all these different emotions all the time that we play in and out of. So the first 4 that I want to talk about, this is part of the mood matrix. Before we had the emotional aromatherapy oils, these were the 4 oils that we used to talk about mood and to help people emotionally. So if we start at the top left, oops, just kidding. So we have the fatigue at the top, and then there's no peace. We have serenity. So serenity is a calming blend. It's composing, it's placating. It's one to use when you feel like you've got a high stress level and you feel really like no peace. So you feel kind of agitated, irritated, antsy, irritable, that kind of thing. Serenity just helps to be able to calm that. And then if we go over to the citrus bliss over in this side here, citrus bliss is like no passion. You have no drive. You feel maybe lethargic, tired. And then again, you have the top, the fatigued. So the citrus bliss is going to be very invigorating, stimulating, motivating. I love the citrus oils. They are just my go-to. They are my sunshine. And so this is a great one to be able to lift mood. I love this one, especially as it's been getting dark at night and it's starting to get cold. Citrus bliss is just sunshine in a bottle to lift mood. And then if we go down to elevation, so this one has, again, no passion. So somebody who's lethargic, they're tired, they don't have a lot of desire to do things, and then they're also stressed out. So they have a lot of like anxiety, high energy stress, and so elevation is going to help balance that out. It's going to help lift their mood and help them to feel more calm. So it's inspiring, encouraging, and cheering. And then if we go to balance, balance is like one of my favorites next to the citrus oils. So balance is that grounding blend. So again, you've got the high stress and then there's no peace. Again, that kind of that high anxiety. So it's grounding, reassuring, and consoling. So these 4 are great oils for that mood matrix to kind of get started. Do any of you guys have a story or an experience with these 4 oils that you would like to share or talk about? Just unmute yourself if you want to jump in.
I could talk about elevation.
Awesome.
Elevation combined with actually frankincense has helped me a lot in the past with just some really depressed days. If I use that, I may not notice that, like I use it throughout the day, those two combined together, I may not notice it like right away, but after a few hours, and definitely just my state of mind and peace changes that next day.
Cool.
I can feel
That's
a
awesome.
difference.
Cool. That's awesome. I haven't used elevation a lot myself. It's not one of my favorites, but I hear some really amazing stories with that one for people who are struggling with depression, especially, or, just, need encouragement. So awesome. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. When I first got started, Balance was my go-to oil. And so for anxiety, for me, for the kind of the panic attacks, Balance is my first one. And usually I'll just put a drop of my hand, breathe it in, and it's amazing how quickly it helps to balance that physiology of that fight or flight that kicks in. It's interesting. Anybody else have anything they want to share about these 4 oils? Oops.
I'm just going to say that Balance has an added bonus, like it also helps you direct your emotional traffic, but it's so soothing to the skin that people use it as a diaper rash cream.
Yes. Yes. That's awesome. You're right. Thank you for sharing that. Very good. Okay. I'm going to go up here. Let's see.
Hey, Tiffany, can I just say hi to Stacy?
Yes.
Hi, Stacy.
Hello.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. And if you are not muted, if you don't mind muting, that would be awesome.
I will.
I do that.
Soon
Thank you.
as I figure out
Welcome. We're glad to have you with us. Okay, we're going to jump to the next. These are like the Fab 6, right? Okay, so these 6 essential oils were just introduced from doTERRA about a year ago at convention. And I love this picture of Inside Out. So if you guys have seen the movie Inside Out, you have these little characters who represent what's going on in this little girl's mind. She's got, there's angry. Oh, see, I can't even remember the names. I just remember Joy. Joy's my favorite. And they have all the different emotions, and it's so fun to watch the different emotions play out in this little girl's mind. And it's been really fun to watch. We have a 6-year-old daughter, and she will tell me how she's feeling. Like, she'll say, today I feel joy. And so I know that she's feeling happy inside. Or if she's angry, she'll talk about being angry. And I just thought about how it's so amazing that we are teaching our kids how to identify their emotions and how they're feeling. And then we can go and use these essential oils to help support them in their emotions. I know that for me, growing up in my childhood, we didn't talk about our emotions. We didn't talk about feeling sad, or I feel scared, or I'm disappointed. It's just kind of like we just kept going. And so this has been really fun to be able to kind of sit back and become aware of what I'm feeling or what my kids are going through, and then being able to go to an oil to help support what is ever going on. So I love that picture from Inside Out. And these are the 6 different oils. We have Motivate, Cheer, Passion, Forgive, Console, and Peace. And this little chart that's to the side here, this is on the inside cover of the emotional aromatherapy oils that you get. And I love it because it talks about several different emotions. So if you're feeling gloomy, you want to try the Motivate, or let's get this over, or Cheer. If you're feeling anxious, again, there's Motivate or Peace. If you're feeling sad or grieving, try the Console or the Forgive. And so I always tell people, just kind of smell them, find which one you like, and then go with that one. An experience that a friend of ours had that I really love. She has I think he was 10, a 10-year-old son, and he was having a rough night. And she's like, you know what? I want you to come look at this wheel. I want you to tell me how you're feeling, and then get that oil and use it. And I just thought, how cool is that this mom was able to say, whoa, what's going on? And then be able to address emotionally what's going on by using the different essential oils. And when you look at these charts, and even thinking about the essential oils and where they're coming from on the tree, they have different properties. So if you look at like the trees and the herbs and the grasses, those are going to be a little bit more grounding. They're going to be, the best way to describe it is like a tree, like an evergreen tree. It's very strong, it's deeply rooted, and so it's going to give you stability and strength and help you to feel grounded. Whereas like with the mints and the citrus oils, I just imagine them being a little bit more light and uplifting and more fruity. And so that's going to give kind of a different emotional outcome than the oils would. And same with the florals. I actually read somewhere just recently that florals are great for the mind chatter and to helping to calm the mind. I did not know that. Very, very cool. Do any of you guys have an experience with these 6 oils and how you have used them to benefit you or your family emotionally? Anyone?
I'll talk.
Oh, go, Linda.
I was waiting to see if somebody else would. So every once in a while, I do get a little upset with my husband, and maybe perhaps even angry. And I will tell you that forgive is not necessarily my favorite oil, or wasn't when I first smelt the oils. But I can tell you it works because I have used it when I've been upset, and it just took a couple minutes before I was like, oh, well, that really wasn't that bad.
That's awesome.
I'm sure nobody else has ever had that experience. Right, Denise?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And wasn't that a better outcome, really?
Oh, clearly it was for him, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, very good.
I just want to share our friend CJ, who teaches a really cool, her class. I love it when she teaches. She's got a few different things she says about emotions, and that feelings are fickle. Help me out. They're fickle. What else? They're not fatal unless you do something stupid. But she talks about using the oils to help you with your filter. Everything is an F in this thing. But the fact that these feelings come up and they're intense, but they're fleeting, and you can use the oils like Linda just shared, to try forgive before it gets out of hand.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have an experience with one of these 6 or how you've used them?
Well, the one thing I do want to add is these oils really do seem more complex because, there's a whole bunch of different oil that goes into each one of them. And so I know when I first experienced them, I was like, what the heck? And it was almost confusing because it was so different than a lot of the other oils. But boy, they just really work. They really work.
I have a couple stories for the piece.
Yeah.
Tiffany. One for the pieces, I think I've mentioned this before in another class, was with Brianna, with our flight back to Ohio this year. She had a lot of anxiety. I'm not sure why she was so anxious with that, but we just kept putting the piece on, which really helped her a lot through the whole different flights that we had, and that just really seemed to calm her down. I kept using that. And then I have another friend that recently has used it to help in her classes where she has to speak and come up with more ideas, and it just helped to calm her down before she was able to present and that type of thing.
Wow, that's cool. Very, very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I know one of my favorites lately has been Console, and that's been an interesting kind of a soul search. I'm like, why is it that I like Console? And I've been trying to figure out what that is, and I love to use that one too before I speak or do something like that as well, because I do get kind of anxious. A friend of mine recently shared using peace and passion, and if you look on this chart, they're completely opposite each other. And so that has been a new combo that I have been using probably for the last 3 weeks, and I love it. And I will just roll, like I've got my passion here, and I'll just roll it on one wrist, and then I'll take my piece and I'll roll it on the other one. And it is a wonderful combination. And it's been kind of fun because I put the other ones, cross-line ones together too. So like the console and cheer, and then the motivate and forgive. And they are wonderful combinations together. So I would just challenge you to kind of, oh, that smells good. To play with them, play with the different combinations and see how you like them and see how you feel like they help. I know that not necessarily with these oils, but going to school in the morning, I'm just trying to think of all the ways that we've applied these emotionally. But like we've had more than one morning in our car with 3 kids driving to school where we've had some grumpy kids and we've had some tired kids and some fighting kids. And I'll tell you what, when we pull out the citrus oils or the balance or any of these, it's amazing to see how quickly all of a sudden they kind of calm down and life is good again. And I love that. I love that. I will take happy, peaceful children over fighting children any day. Any day.
I was going to add, my cousin is a romance novelist, and she loves passion. That's her go-to oil when she sits down to write. She's done a couple Instagram posts with her books. She's written 5 books, 4 have been published, so her 5th is coming out. But a lot of it is motivated with, she uses passion and also whisper. So
ooh, that's awesome. Those are great ones. Oh, that's fun. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll jump to our next slide here. So there is a lot of great information out there to learn more about the emotions and essential oils. And so these are 4 books that have been my go-to. The Emotions and Essential Oils, I love this book because it goes through each of the essential oils and kind of gives their personality and the characteristic of each oil and how they can support the different emotions. So for example, wild orange is one of my favorites. So when you look in that book, it talks about it being the oil of abundance. And so if we ever feel like we are in like a poverty mentality or a scarcity mentality, that when we use wild orange, it helps us to feel more abundance and to be able to see the world more abundantly. And it just helps to uplift mood. And so it's kind of an interesting book. It's another way of looking at the oils. And then this another one, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. This one gives you an interesting look. What we learned at convention is that oftentimes our emotions will manifest themselves physically. So I love to share the story. My son, Jack, he is the 3rd of our 5 kids, and periodically he will get bloody noses. And I remember just thinking, what is it? You know, is it a seasonal thing? Is it what's going on? And so it was interesting. I looked up bloody noses in this book, and the emotional part of a bloody nose is feelings of being overlooked. And so as a mom, whenever Jack now has a bloody nose, that is kind of my signal for he needs more time from me. I need to connect with him better than I am. And so it's just kind of interesting. There's a lot of just interesting, cool, again, it's just a different way of looking at the oils and emotionally. And then in the Essential Life book, I read a couple of paragraphs out of that of emotions. They have a lot of different recipes and ideas. There's a lot of science and information. So this is a great book. And then our Classic Modern Essentials, they have a whole section on emotions too, where you can look up different emotions or feelings, like being agitated or fearful or discouraged, and it'll give you some different oils that can help address that. So know that there's a lot of resources out there to support you and to help you to understand more about the essential oils and how we can use them in our daily lives. Because I know that, you know, life is not always easy, and that there are struggles and there are disappointments, and we have people where we live in a world full of imperfect people, right? And so being able to have the oils to help support us in all the things that come our way is really powerful. And it's great to have a support that is so easy to use and so effective. So the next one is, so just really quickly, so what is the best way for you to get these essential oils so that you too can enjoy the benefits of the emotional aromatherapy oils? And so our recommendation, as always, is to pick a kit. We love the kits. This is a great way to get started with doTERRA, and it waives that $35 membership that allows you to get product at 25% off. These are just a couple of them that you can pick. They have a lot of different options, and so I'd say get with whoever invited you to this class and figure out which kit would best meet your needs, and then get started. I can tell you that as we have used the oils and have seen their benefits over and over again, that we are so grateful to have the essential oils in our lives and for the empowerment that it's given and the solutions that we have at our fingertips whenever we need them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So these are some different options, and again, get with the person who invited you to be able to learn more about what your options are so that you can get a kit and get these amazing oils into your family. And then what's great is when you pick a kit, you also, not quite to that slide yet. Okay, just really quick, there is an incentive that is going on, which is an awesome incentive through November 15th that I'm like looking at this going, November, they're doing the whole month of November. Does that look right? I was thinking it through the 15th, but okay, so anyways, place a 100 PV order in November, do another 100 PV in December, and you can get the Lifelong Vitality for free. And this is, I think I saw it was like $100 value. And so this is a great way to get that Lifelong Vitality for free. So something that I would recommend is to get a starter kit with the top 10 oils to help you get started on that Essential Oils 101 that we talked about. And then in December, get the Emotional Aromatherapy oils so that you have the 2.0 going on. And then you get the Lifelong Vitality, which is going to be that foundation that you need to really help your body to feel well and to have the energy that you need. And then the oils will be kind of the icing on the cake. So once you do that, you also, I love to share these pictures. I need to rotate these maybe a little bit too, but when you get your member number with doTERRA, you also have this amazing support network of people who are here to support you and answer questions. We have local events. We're going to keep continuing to have online events where you can continue to learn more about the essential oils and how they can help you and your family. And it really is true that we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And I would say that the real culture of doTERRA is giving. It is serving each other, and it's helping people find solutions for their health concerns, whether they're physical or emotional. And there's so many benefits to this for our health, for our finances, for our emotions, community, all of that. And so we love this amazing doTERRA community that we have and the amazing people that we get to work with. And then how do you love this picture? So next week, same time, we are doing an essential oils and digestive health class. Do you just not love this picture? I love it. So anyway, so this is what we're doing next week. And so we'd love to have you jump on with us to learn more about the essential oils and digestive health. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here.